folks. Before we go on, I just want to check on some sports stats, keep myself sharp here on the sports, and I'll use my computer and just go in here, and I'm going to check. Okay.
It's podcast week. My name's Dave. Welcome to Too Much Dip, episode 5. It's our 5th one.
I've lost count.
It feels like we've hit our stride. We hit it pretty early.
We're running 5s.
Micah, you don't have to wear the mask on your chin. There's other ways to do this.
I'm just protecting myself from the queso on my dip, on my chip.
Oh, God. Because it's dribbling down your chin, a la Ted Cruz?
That was where I was going with that.
Okay. Too Much Dip, a Washed Media podcast. That's what this is. We've done about 5 of these things, as we mentioned. I'm Dave. I've got Dylan here.
Hello, everyone.
You might know Dylan from TFM.
Stop. We're not bringing that up.
Some people call him Dorn.
You know me from Washed Media.
Washed Media personality. Circling Back.
I do a podcast called Circling Back. You're actually on the same one. Yeah.
That's a
y'all
fun
are the same guys?
Yeah.
Hey, speaking
the
of
D-man.
Speaking of Micah and Too Much Dip, I went ahead and posted a picture of Micah just now. Check it out on Twitter and the gram at dshivery.
Notice you didn't tag either of us. Cool.
And I did on Instagram. Check it out.
That's cool.
But people are getting way too H on a Monday afternoon right now because Micah's legs are sculpted.
You led them down that
Thank you.
road with your caption.
Well,
It's hard to see that photo and not.
How do you not notice the legs?
I feel like my quads are somewhat popping in this as much as a skinny guy who's a hard gainer can do.
Micah's got the rare shin vein moving down his leg.
We call that a Shane.
The Shane. You don't see that too often, but when you do,
Well, thank you, Dylan.
my oh my.
I've also reposted that photo at Micah Weiner,
This will only enhance his followers.
Wiener. Thank you. Yeah, no, it's great. What a great way to start the Monday. It's Gas Me Up Monday here.
Apparently.
On Too Much Dip.
That's what we do.
Micah's here. Producer Micah. Developer of the run sheet or the rundown.
Whatever you want to call it. It's your world.
You're cucking my dog, and I don't like it. The focal point in this photo should be Randy.
No one's
who
even
is in
talking about
office.
the dog.
And no one's talking about it. Everybody's just talking about this guy's quads. We've seen his quads. We know he's a quad guy.
Crying Will in the background got a shout out
Sure
before
did.
your quad said.
As someone asked about your legs, he said, where is it? He's shaving those motherfucking things? Which I found funny.
Are you shaving
Answer
your
the man's
legs?
question.
I am not. I have spent quite a bit of time outside this summer, and the sun has bleached my leg hair.
So those boxes of Nair that you were tossing outside.
That it's not that either. I'm
Okay.
not putting lemon juice on my leg hair. It's natural. The sun, the vitamin D, it's all happening.
That's
for
a
me.
thing.
Micah, it's really cool of you that when you come in here every time you have a brand new shirt that you've just taken out of the box. And
Yeah,
it
do you
is,
come straight from jiu-jitsu? What's going on here?
do you throw away do you throw shirts away every time, like after every use?
I'm just trying to be clean in here. J. Crew outlet coming through, and I'd represent again.
Is that an $8 J. Crew outlet shirt?
6 1/4. It normally $470, $47.50, but considering everything on J. Crew outlet is 70% off every day.
You didn't want to
6
go to
1/4.
Outdoor Voices and spend like $70 on the same shirt?
The exact same shirt?
I bought 8 of these recently, so you'll be seeing a lot.
Okay.
Straight, fresh out the bag.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Catch us on YouTube. You can see.
KJ's here.
What up?
What's up?
I too am rocking a shirt that was like fresh out the box, basically. This is off the rack at Costco. There are no boxes, I should say. We record for the people at home, just yanking back the curtain. We record right after Club Cool.
Yeah.
And there's no way to feel more judged and looked over than walking past
Dude, tell me about it.
Club Cool Boys and
I'm sick of it.
men. And I'm just like, I'm going to hide in the other room until they leave the premises because Barrett and Phil, like, they come in there and like, swag lords, dude.
Yeah, Barrett's really taken a liking to the jean short. And he pulls them off. He's even got the frayed ones. He just looks, and it's not even like, you don't bat an eye. You're like, yeah, Barrett's wearing
Barrett
shorts.
wears shoes that, to me, just like if I just saw them like on a shelf somewhere or online, I'd be like, no way is anyone ever wearing these. But he does it, and he makes them look tight as fuck, and I don't get how he does it.
check out Club Cool.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no better endorsement than the four of us saying how scary it is when we come in here and they're just swagged out.
You don't want the eyeballs to scan like up and down when you walk in a room, because then you just know that inside their brain, they're just.
I almost asked them, like, when's the album dropping? Like, every
Yeah.
time I see them, I'm like, these dudes, fresh.
It's a little much.
They put off SoundCloud rapper vibes, and I mean that in a good way. That's a compliment.
No, it is a compliment.
They put off, they've crushed it at their recent gigs off Red River. Like, those are the vibes I get.
I like that. Hey, follow us on Twitter at Too Much Dip with 2 P's, and also on Instagram, Too Much Dip Podcast. So it's Too Much Dip, two P's on Twitter, Too Much Dip Podcast on Instagram. Check us out. We're doing fun stuff there. Our search continues for an intern. We're getting some good stuff sent in. We're checking it out. We're keeping it open through the end of the month. But if you want to run our social, email me, dave@washedmedia.com, and I'll email you some directions. Also, leave a review. If you haven't subscribed to this, do that. We're available wherever your podcasts are sold. Spotify. I think it's Spotify and Apple are like the 2 big players, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Can you leave a review on Spotify? I've never tried to
I
do
don't think
that.
you can.
It's just Apple.
Correct.
I've got some reviews. Should we just
Do
read
you?
a couple this week?
I would
Yeah.
love that.
Here's one from Crush and Run. It's entitled, "Oh My Heavens. Those savory voices make moist." Not sure who's moist or what's moist, but shouts. RJ Hampton wrote, "Bang!" And his caption just says, "Bang!" A little slow on the sound effects there, Dave?
I'm sorry. I was doing time cues per someone's request.
I got it. I'm doing that. Yeah. Before you had it on the other screen, so I couldn't, but we're good now.
Yeah, sorry. It's kind of it's a
You need to keep pivoting.
yeah.
Okay. I got you though.
I'll just flag it.
Okay. How about this one? Harris Bragg writes, "Sports podcast from 30-year-olds. Pod with 4 dudes, 3 of whom live in their parents' basement as they don't have real jobs, talking sports with an unwanted emphasis on super niche Texas high school sports. Great pod except when Micah isn't promoting his liberal newsletter that no one reads."
Wait a minute.
I don't
hold
think
on
it's
a
fair
sec.
to say we live
What?
in our parents'
All
basement.
right, hold on. There's a lot of double negatives there.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering, like, who is getting insulted? It's confusing.
I had to read it twice. Great pod except when Micah isn't promoting his liberal newsletter that no one reads.
So
I don't
this
even know-
person is a fan of your liberal newsletter that no one reads?
I believe so.
That's
Mike,
what we
did you
call-
write this?
That's a backhanded compliment,
Shouts
isn't
to
it?
Harris Berg with 3 Gs, who obviously is a subscriber to Micah's Read of the Week, the newsletter.
Man, mine's in my inbox. I can't wait to get out of here and read it, Micah.
Well, that's great. And then one more from 3Bs on TV called Kings of Freon because they're so cold.
That's true. And that
Okay.
is not a reference to people in high school who would leave parties and go to the side of the house and huff Freon to get high.
Jeez.
It's something I've seen done on a more than one occasion, and it's always creeped me out.
No.
Don't huff Freon. I think we can all get behind that.
A lot of things in this world I'd try. Freon ain't one of them.
Yeah. You know what you did try? You tried smoking some beef ribs over the weekend.
Smoke something, bitch.
I didn't
It's
try.
smoke something, bitch.
Yeah. Try was not a part of it.
It's one of the best things I've ever seen you do.
I will step up to the plate and say I am not one to use my gram in a manner that is probably recommended or good, but the beef short ribs that I got off on the gram yesterday, you can find that at KJ Ellis with 1s as the L's, absolutely knocked it out of the park.
It looks fantastic.
Appreciate it. It was delicious. And I thought back to our conversation last week. I was like, I could bring some of these down to Austin, or I could make sure that staying up past 9 p.m. is physically impossible by just eating, 1.5 of these myself and save the rest for the next dinner. So it was great. To anyone out there who is smoking anything, pulling trach, not smoking other stuff,
Not huffing Freon.
not huffing Freon.
To be clear.
Smoke some.
You can't smoke Freon, also, Dylan.
I'm not going to try. Don't worry.
I will highly recommend the beef short rib because it is the easiest. Throw it on, basically leave it for 5 hours, spray it a couple times, and you're done, and you get all the joy that you would get otherwise out of a brisket that's going to take you half a day for $10, $12. That rack you saw was like $13. If I go to Le Barbecue here in Austin, like I'm paying $15 per rib.
Hey, you're paying $26 per rib.
Oh, well, shit.
Jeez.
You kidding me?
I'm not kidding.
Wow.
We reposted some of your stuff at Meat Smokers Only
Yes.
on Instagram. Follow that if you're not. Another plug. We had the Claw Daddy taking it over. Clayton Law. He used to intern at Grand X way back in the day. He was a biz dev intern. Apparently just a grill master.
He was doing work.
He does that every weekend. Like
Okay.
he lives in Fort Worth. He's got a ranch, or his friends have like ranches around, the DFW area, and they just go park it out there and just go hard.
Yeah, he looked like he was homesteading. I think he did like a beer can chicken.
Oh yeah, with sneaky shout out to Miller High Life.
Yep. And he did like beans, everything from scratch. The guy was dominating. I threw some ribs on a smoker.
It looked good. You had a great crust on there.
Yes.
Anybody else smoke anything?
I didn't smoke anything.
I didn't either.
Yeah. I just looked at KJ's Instagram a few times.
I picked up as I was telling y'all earlier, Valentina's, which is really good. Check it out if you're in South Austin.
It slaps.
It
Did you have
does
any good
slap.
food this weekend, Micah?
Yeah, I had a few very nice meals. Thank you for asking. Yeah, thanks.
You don't want to elaborate?
Tenderloin, salmon.
We had takeout food from Sap's Sap's Thai last night. Quite good.
They hook it up.
Yeah, food's good. Easy, online system, very safe, in and out. Successful trip.
I will say the ease of checkout with any website is a big decider if I'm going to finish out that transaction. Shouts to the Wash Media website for having the ability to pay with Apple Pay. I don't know if enough people understand that, but
all you need is a fingerprint.
oh yeah,
We probably could have found a way
Money's
to just gift you a shirt or something. I don't know what you bought on there, but
I mean, really more so read that people were aware that Apple Pay existed on the Discord and just wanted to plug it.
Okay.
So go to the Wash
What a
Media
guy.
website.
What a guy.
There's a 2-step authentication protocol.
Ah.
Make sure you get both step 1 and step 2 completed. Do you guys see Alex Smith is cleared for football activities? You want to check in on the sports? I'd like to check in on them. Can we do that?
Let's pivot to sports.
Let's do it. Alex Smith. Twitter had fun with this yesterday. I didn't realize, this is how out of the loop I've been, I didn't realize he was running it back.
Yes.
And
he
I'm
is.
happy for him, but
Okay.
it's a cautious happy.
Have you watched him be mobile, like actually go through workouts and whatnot, and just try and walk?
It looks like a cyborg leg.
Like, give the guy all the credit in the world. I respect the hell out of what he's doing. He's not going to play again. Like, he's not going to take a meaningful snap again. I don't think. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong.
The clip, I think it was his wife, maybe it was his daughter, I don't know, posted of him celebrating getting the news that he was cleared by the NFL. Was a little uncomfortable, not only because you're telling me, like, he just found out this news. We all showed up outside to surprise him with silly streamers and all of this, hoopla.
He was noticeably limping in the
And
video.
he was, like, flinging his leg out
It
there.
looks like he has drop foot.
Yes, that is
Right?
exactly what it looks like.
I don't know if he actually has been diagnosed with drop foot, but that's what it looks like he has.
Did any of you see the ESPN E60 special about his
I
like
missed
what
it.
actually happened to him? I didn't watch it
Heard a
because
lot about it, but I didn't catch it.
it was too much for me to try to consume. For those who don't know, Alex Smith suffered a brutal or gruesome would probably fit as well knee injury. I think it was J.J. Watt who might have landed on his knee.
Yeah, noted dirty player. Just
He
all
broke
around
his
bad guy.
his tibia and fibula,
Yes.
I believe.
And
Kidding.
due to some complications during surgery and repair for that, basically there was sepsis that occurred and almost sent him into shock and basically almost died from this knee injury.
That's what killed Al Capone.
If you know that.
Is that true?
Syphilis. Excuse me. Different. Very different.
But they basically walked right up to the line of basically saying, like, in order to save your life, we've got to cut your leg off. And this was a year and a half ago because his injury was 2 years ago. And then the surgery was like months after the original surgery.
Wait, how soon after the injury did he hear that news?
So
Like at the
let's say
hospital
2
that
years
day?
ago, the injury happened. He had his original surgery. his recovery was taking weeks and weeks and weeks, and then they discovered, like, they peeled off the cast, and they're like, your leg is being eaten away, basically.
We saw photos of that. They went
Yes.
viral. It only enhanced his followers.
I
Sure.
don't know if any of you are big Slim Jim fans, but
We're not.
let's just imagine if you went at it from the middle part and didn't really bite through and attach it to your leg. You've got Alex Smith's leg.
You know Dylan just swallows those whole? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We're doing football talk.
Oh my God.
So, yeah, long story short, Alex Smith is apparently coming back. I wish him the best.
Is he on a roster?
He's still a part of the Washington football team's roster. Nailed it. Didn't say the team's name.
Okay.
I mean, watching him just move around. I mean, just like he said, walking in his driveway in front of his family. He looked like he was really struggling just to walk around. I don't get it, but I'm pulling for the guy. Quite the journey.
By all accounts, a very nice man.
Yeah. His throwing motion seems to be a lot different now in the workout videos I've seen. It's a lot longer. I don't know if he's trying to generate power elsewhere now that he can't really use his leg as much. I don't know. He's got a weird throwing motion now. It's really long.
Strange.
It wasn't always like that.
I'm glad that you're here to break that down because you're the expert thrower.
Well, you throw a
in this
football
room.
like a catcher throws a baseball. There's no down here motion with it. It's just all up here above the shoulder.
You got to think his pocket presence is going to be affected by having
Oh.
drop foot or whatever.
Yeah, yeah. You gotta think so. You don't want to take a lick on that.
Does he suit up for another game? I'm not
No.
saying he plays.
No.
I'm not saying he does anything good. Does he make it through a camp long enough to
I don't see how.
suit up?
I don't see how.
If he does, will you go out and buy yourself a Washington football team jersey of Alex Smith's?
No, but I will be very happy for the man. Yeah.
Speaking of other injuries,
Oh, dude.
um,
This is developing. We're watching this
Yeah.
story develop right before our eyes.
neither of these are good for you, David.
No, they're not. And I feel like there's been more, and these are just the two that, like, pierced me the most. We lost Gerald McCoy today to a ruptured quad. Is that correct?
Sounds painful.
Is that the Boogie Cousins injury? Didn't he have that?
Maybe. I mean, that's a very terrible answer, but I think you're right.
Ruptured quad, and today is their first day full contact, right? Or at least pads.
Yeah.
Oh, God. That's bad. He was a good acquisition for the Cowboys. And
apparently not that good.
Okay, well.
On paper, perhaps.
Right.
Wow.
Look, I'm sorry. I feel bad. This is unfortunate for him, the entire McCoy family, and for Cowboy Nation, as we're colloquially known, even though we are America's team. But
I heard Alden Smith's looking saucy. Per sources.
Per sources?
that's good.
And the 49ers lost former Baylor and volunteer great Jalen Hurd. Potential ACL, I think. You might remember him. He transferred in. He was a running back at Tennessee. Didn't really work out there. It was weird. Came into Baylor. He balled. He's a good receiver. I mean, converted right in. I think he's going to be a good player, but looks like he is out for the year. So I don't know, man. I don't know if there's a narrative or a way y'all want to spin this, but we were talking before. You know what's out there. The takes are going to be fuego.
We record on Mondays, which, as we saw last week, sometimes can have its advantages and disadvantages. We get the prior weekend. We don't get the takes from tomorrow. I will tell you right now, the takes from tomorrow will be, oh my gosh, all these players are coming in out of shape. We have all these injuries because we didn't have a proper off season, so on and so forth. Like this is a byproduct of COVID is what we're going to get for, print it, Bleacher Report, PFT.com.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Speaking of injuries, we got Dez potentially to the Ravens. I hope it works out for him. This is a pro Dez pod.
So he's taken
Is
two
it-
seasons
Can we
off.
stop? Can
Is
we
that right?
stop giving Dez credit? Dez is never going to come back. Dez is not playing in the NFL anymore.
What?
Dez is done.
He's taken 2 seasons off.
Okay, well, no,
He came back and signed with the Saints last year and immediately did something that ruined his season.
It was 2 seasons ago, so he missed all last season, right? With
Was it? Oh, it was last year.
was it Achilles? It was an Achilles.
He tore his Achilles.
Oh.
Dez is done playing in the NFL, guys. We got to stop.
I think you're right. I mean, I think you're
standing
right.
for the guy.
I don't like how negative you're being today.
Me neither. And I will sit here and say we just cruised on past Saucy Alden Smith, who's a noted University of Missouri grad. Or
Yeah, I'm not sure.
former player.
Yes, that's.
But
that's
we get to Dez, and it's like all systems are not go here.
I'm irritated by Dez at all times. I follow him on Twitter. He throws up the X. That's cool. It's just the guy isn't relevant. He hasn't been for years.
Gonna disagree.
He's not moving the needle for the Ravens. In the event that he signs there.
How old is he?
32, I want to say.
He's on the wrong
31,
side of 30,
32.
as they will tell you.
For a
I
receiver,
will-
that's up there.
I will set the over-under
31.
at 3.5 touchdowns from Dez today until infinity. And
Well, I will happily take
hammering.
the under.
I'm hammering the over.
I will take the over.
I will happily take the under, and we can bet anything you want.
I got the under as well. I'm with Mike on this. And I have nothing against Dez. I did some great things for the boys, of course. But I mean,
He once had a pet monkey.
his last season with Dallas,
It's true.
he noticeably lost a step, right? Like he wasn't
Yeah.
the
You're right.
fast twitch Dez that we
Never the best route runner. More of a physical presence.
and that
Seemingly
was
a great teammate.
and that was
I
what,
will
3
say
years
that.
ago.
Unless you're Witten.
If you watch the All or what was that show? The one on Amazon, All or Nothing.
Amazon was there's this.
It's like Hard Knocks, but for the whole season. I
During
think it's
the
called
season,
All
yeah.
or Nothing, basically. I think that's what it is.
You're right.
The one what they did with the Cowboys, Dez, model teammate, very likable person. He doesn't have it anymore, guys.
I think he makes his home in DeSoto, does he not?
He did for quite some time. I don't know if he's still at home there. The home that he had there was destroyed by one Dallas the monkey.
That's true,
Brian.
wasn't it? Royce West,
Yes,
state senator.
former state senator candidate Royce West.
Former United States senatorial candidate.
Correct.
Honestly,
Texas state senator.
current state
yes,
senator.
yes, yes.
And
I'm
the-
sorry.
and not to get political, but and a guy I really like. I used to play AAU ball with his son Rolando.
Really?
I liked him
story.
up until the report of him going after Des and putting all the laundry in the streets of how much monkey feces was in that
there
house.
was doo-doo feces all over the wall. That's the thing.
Yeah, Dez wasn't a very good tenant.
Hey, we've all been there, man. We've all
I'd be
been
upset too.
there. Anyhow, Des, 5 touchdowns. Book it.
look, I'm a Dez guy. I'm pulling for him.
It doesn't sound like you
Hey,
are.
I am.
Dorn and I will be throwing up the X if it happens. I just don't think it's going to happen.
He's
fam.
a Texas guy. He's from the state of
East Texas.
East Texas. Yeah,
Longview, right?
Lufkin, I believe.
Lufkin.
Yeah.
Correct.
Lufkin.
I get those mixed up all the time, too.
I think a lot of people do. Yeah, pulling for him, man.
Once
Go
lost
with
his
the X.
eligibility for having lunch with Deion Sanders.
That is actually true.
That's-
He went to a party hosted by Deion Sanders his junior year into senior year. And because at the time Deion was acting in the position of as an agent for some other players, Noel Devine namely, Dez lost his eligibility through that interaction, which,
Noel Devine. I haven't heard that name in a long time.
that's a NCAA legend out
like
there.
the best high school highlight tape you're ever going to see.
Right
Oh,
at the beginning of YouTube.
Other than Sam McGuffey.
Other than Sam McGuffey
True.
and Reggie Bush. Yeah, it's like those three.
It's the
Ryan
Holy Trinity.
Perilou.
RP11.com.
Dude,
Jeez.
Perilou.
Perilou was lit.
That's a name that will live in infamy.
He was the first athlete that I remember being reported on that he locked down RP11.com because he was getting so many views on his highlight tape.
He flipped from Texas to LSU on signing day and didn't inform anyone on the Texas staff. Pretty.
Never was
Pretty
really
cold.
heard from again, actually.
Didn't have much of a
Got
a
arrested
career.
for trying to gamble in a casino underage and or drinking underage, but nothing egregious from what I recall. It could have been a worse story.
Both of those offenses, I know one guy who's gotten both of those from college. So, and I was with him when he was gambling underage.
Was it Ryan Perilou?
It was not Ryan Perilou. It was not. It was. We'll talk afterwards.
Okay. All right.
CFL canceled their season. That's a bummer.
Is that official?
That is official.
Says it here.
The only reason I added that note is because the CFL, as you may know, is slated typically to play in the spring. So if you're canceling spring seasons, well, not unlocks, but there are a lot of players who would otherwise be tied up via CFL that are going to be available. Now, we talked about XFL restarting and likely looking at the 2022 season. This may accelerate that timeline because you are no longer lacking for talent. So just keep an eye on it.
I thought I saw a headline about this that they were in trouble because they couldn't get Canadian government funds, and so that might have had as much to do with it as safety concerns. I don't know.
Bureaucrats. You know how they are.
That plus they probably needed assurances to the Canadian government that the players weren't going to be allowed to go back and forth because as we saw with the Blue Jays, right?
Yeah.
Blue Jays were disallowed
They're not playing
to play
in Canada.
in
this year.
Canada, and hockey only exists up there for the playoffs just because they're doing a strict bubble. So
This is some breaking news. Wow, this is wild. The CFL has actually been purchased by one Liam Neeson. So you have The Rock owning the XFL, and Liam Neeson is now the owner of the CFL. This is loco.
Give me back my son.
Just give him his fucking son.
it's the guy from Naked
Well,
Gun.
why
wants
do
to
why do they keep taking his son? I
That's
don't
a different
understand.
movie. You're thinking that's a it's his daughter in Taken. by the way.
I'm sorry.
But that is a line, like a famous line from a movie. I can't picture who says it though.
So this isn't the Naked Gun guy y'all are talking about.
No, that's Leslie Nielsen.
Yeah, he's no longer with us.
Leslie Nielsen.
Unrelated altogether.
Dude, the Naked Gun.
Dude, those are great. Those were great.
What's better, those or the Police Academy?
Naked Gun, for sure.
Yeah, they've got more O.J. Simpson in them.
Yeah,
that's true.
100% more.
100%.
Although
more
they
than
do not have the human beatbox, so
Without that
So-
guy,
it's 50-50.
police, it really, yeah.
If
he
anyone
makes
knew
Police
his
Academy.
name, we would shout him out. But
The guy who
we
does
he's
the
one-
voices.
Everyone knows exactly who that guy is when
Sound
you
effect
say
guy.
the sound effect guy, but nobody knows that dude's name. And if he walked in here and said, "Hey, I'm the sound effect guy," I'd be like, "Are you sure?"
Like he was put on this earth for one thing and one thing only. He absolutely crushes
Just
it.
do sound
He
effects.
just does sound effects.
I love it.
We got to put some respect on his name once we figure it out.
I think Mike is looking it up right now.
I hope he's still with us.
Oh, man.
Anything else on the NFL or any other football leagues we want to touch on? We've done them all.
I just really hope that they're being safe with the COVID situation because I want to see some football. And
It can't get here soon
Still have
enough.
my doubts that the SEC, Big 12, ACC, whoever else is actually playing, that they're actually going to follow through with it. But we need some kind of football, and NFL is our best shot.
You want to hit that? I think we should hit that.
What do you want to hit?
SEC, all of that.
Let's talk. Yeah.
I think if opening move-in week of college has anything to say about what this experience is going to be like for athletes or non-athletes, it's very clear that it's going to be a short season if
Oh
they
my
do start.
gosh, that I saw Ravel quote tweeted it today, but it was a video, or maybe it was just a picture. I'm not sure. Some party at Alabama.
Okay, I
or
didn't
maybe
see
it was
that yet.
Oklahoma State, something like that. And it was just a typical college party where there was no social distancing whatsoever. I didn't see a mask there.
Chinos firmly pressed
Oh,
against
yeah.
those in front of them.
Do they even need
Just
masks?
hard-ass
if
chinos
if you're
everywhere.
a dude at a Bama party, because like your bangs are gonna cover your mouth.
It's a good point, Dave.
Yeah, Alabama is the one school where players on the team are like, "Are you guys fucking serious right now? Just please stop doing this."
You're like, you're fucking with my money right now.
How is
no joke.
How is bid day and all that? How is that still happening?
From what I saw in defense of Bama and all of those things, everything I looked up when I looked up bid day Bama, I had to look up on an incognito browser. But then everything else I saw, they did say pretty vocally and everywhere that they were running everything virtually, that they were doing their interviews and all of that virtually. But then there were a lot of pictures of the girls running, doing their whole thing. But a lot of them were wearing masks. Now, then the picture that the Bama AD then posts down the street of like the dudes waiting on the chicks to get done, those dudes were very thirsty and there was not a mask in sight.
Apparently, the family members for the sorority women were not allowed to be there, which normally they are. But
That must have
instead,
been really tough.
Instead, every dude on campus is just posted up right outside, waiting.
Wow.
Meet me at the bar. Yeah, it's
Remember those sorority bid day videos that we used to always get sent to us of they'd get tackled in the open field?
Yep.
What was the deal with
What?
that?
Or
So when the girls when it's announced like which chapter accepts them or how I don't know how the hell it works, but it's like unveiled. I really don't. It's like finally unveiled. Like, oh, you're gonna rush 80 pi, whatever the hell it is, and they just like run at each other at full speed, and it always ends with like a dog pile of college chicks. It's so
Yeah.
weird. There's some like impressive form tackling going on, like unintentionally. It's so weird.
also the videos of the the sorority house door opening, and all the girls are like standing there,
those
and they
two.
just start doing
Oh,
like their
my.
screams and cheers.
Like the gate to hell is what it looks like.
That's the viral tweet
yeah.
that comes around every fall.
So my brother-in-law, my wife's the oldest of 5. My brother-in-law is, I want to say 19. He's going to his sophomore year. They just drove him back up to Stillwater and dropped him off at Oklahoma State. So I saw the video that looked like any random night at TMT in San Marcos or whatever, insert local college bar here. And I sent that to him. I was like, is that you? He goes, it's going to be a short semester.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
like,
there's some clips going live in Stillwater. I mean, yeah, this is, you can see it. I mean,
That's a rave. Like
this
that,
could be this is
Yeah.
any night of the year at any college bar
Yeah,
in America.
that's the
this
video I
is just
saw.
every Friday night.
That
Like-
looks like a super spread event.
Yeah.
Yes.
like people hooked up on that dance floor. You know.
Oh yeah,
Like,
people are
fluids
kissing strangers.
Fluids were being swapped.
I meant super spread of the virus.
right, but yeah, I get it. I get it.
So
Yeah.
if you're a college student, and not tethered to making millions potentially off of having this season occur, at what point do you say, you know what, it was pretty tight in the spring, like getting all this shit canceled, like let's just rage a little bit? Because if we had movies fully based on the premise of having like, Van Wilder, where it was like if your roommate dies or whatever movie that was, it was Van Wilder, then you get straight A's.
No, that was the one with Zach from Mark Paul Gosselaar.
Okay, then I've got them backwards. What was that called then?
I don't know, but they were trying.
It wasn't
the premise
Easy A
is
and it
he
wasn't
was
Van Wilder.
trying to get his roommate to commit suicide to get straight A's, which is
Jesus.
relatively dark.
Extremely. So now we're saying, you're
Wait,
telling me
was
all
that-
I got to do is get a
was
little
that
COVID
the,
and we shut this bitch down?
Was that Total Frat movie? Is that what that was?
No,
Okay.
it wasn't.
Is that a little bit? Was that there was a different theme to that
No,
one?
that
I
was the
forget.
one with the egregious rape scene.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, they just
yeah. Tom Green.
no
was,
no
Tom
one really
Green was in that.
No one
though.
really acknowledged.
Dead man on campus.
Dead Man on Campus is what I was struggling to recall. But yeah, if that's a whole movie, you're telling me that there's not a 19-year-old out there that's like, fuck it, let's shut this bitch down. Let's go.
Yes.
It's all just a huge mess. That's what's going on here.
College
Yeah,
football
we-
ain't happening.
We talked last week. I remember as part of the Horny Report, which we'll get to later.
Sure, yeah.
Dylan was most horny to see where we were on college football this week because things were just sort of breaking on Monday.
Yeah, things were starting to pop.
And basically with the Big Ten and the Pac-12 basically canceled, I think on Monday or Tuesday. And the SEC, Big 12, and ACC are now going to push ahead, and moving their starting date like a month back. And over the weekend, I was thinking, you know what? Maybe this is the right thing. Like, why would we cancel now? We'll see. We wait for the general population to come back. If it doesn't break out, then we should be able to keep the football players safe. But it's going to break out. Like, there's not a school in the country where this isn't going to happen. It's just not likely to happen. I feel
Maybe
far
BYU
less confident.
or Baylor. Who
Yeah.
knows?
Baylor versus BYU for the national championship.
Exactly.
A lot of people are saying that Baylor is back. Also, Daylor, I almost said.
Yeah,
I got roasted on a Zoom call, by the way, just for the Baylor stuff recently.
Oh,
It
no.
was for a friend of the show, Keita's birthday.
Yeah. Potential social media intern. I saw that. I don't understand what they were roasting for, though.
No, they
This
weren't.
is-
It was just my T-shirt fandom came into conversation, and I was like, I'm just on here to
you know
try
what?
to help out my friend.
I don't appreciate that.
I don't either.
It's not okay.
It's okay. But yeah, Baylor, BYU. BYU is back, right?
No, I don't think BYU is even going to play. I'm just saying schools that would not get their season canceled due to partying. Those are the two who are going to make my
It's
list.
very tough for BYU considering they're independent.
True.
Baylor
And Mountain West canceled all their games, so they don't have tie-ins to anything.
as recently as the late aughts, Baylor fraternities did not have alcohol at parties if there were women there.
Sounds lit.
I mean,
They would go upstairs and drink, but they would not drink in the presence of a lady like Mike Pence style. I think that's true.
I'm not touching it.
Shouts to Mother.
They couldn't dance until like
Yeah.
the late 90s. There was no
still
dancing.
can't dance, but
Oh,
they
yeah.
are.
No one's there hitting the quan.
Exactly.
Imagine a campus with no Quan. Like, I'm out.
It's no campus I'm at.
I did add the other note. There's a kid from SMU. Turns out he ended up being a former SMU kicker. I guess was like on the roster last year, but is not playing this year. That is suing SMU for partial refund of his tuition because they are not having full semesters of on-campus learning, he's not going to get that money. But I wonder how many of these suits we're going to see as the year goes on, whether it be for like, I want my money back from this reason, or there was an outbreak, I got sick, you didn't do enough to protect me. Like, these dominoes are going to fall inside and outside of sports for sure.
Absolutely.
I don't know.
Well, I'm surprised we have not seen any prominent attorneys like speak up, like saying that they'll take it. Like Gloria Allred or something is going to start representing these college athletes.
Well, I have read some things that going
Mark
back
that.
to the reason that yes, thank you.
Well read.
Going back to the thing as to why the Big Ten, for example, canceled, in August, because the legal concerns, if they kind of play footsie the way these other leagues are going to do, they're going to be in some trouble. You're going to have some powerful lawyers start some deals, and it's not going to be good.
Okay. All right. Well, look, I'm
That's
the guy,
what I read,
I'm trying to be
you know?
the eternal optimist here,
Means a lot, David.
but these bullet points don't make it look good. It's a lot of negativity on the college football front.
Look, I want to see Lee Corso hoist up a mascot head from his den that's been like FedEx to him 3 days in advance and pick the winner between Georgia and North Carolina, because those are the only teams playing at that point. I'm there to see it. I hope he picks UGA. Shouts to the Bulldogs.
How many people are they going to have to send out to Corso's house to get him set up on a stream?
Not
poor
so
old man.
disconnect.
This let me say, I don't want to be further negative guy, but I mean, are we ever going to see Lee Corso on a game day again?
Look, I think he should have been pulled a couple of years ago.
Why is that? You saying he's lost a step?
I mean, to be kind, he's not as sharp as he used to be.
That's fair.
I strongly agree with Dylan. This man had a stroke several years
Whenever
ago.
he starts talking,
he doesn't need to be on television every week. It's just unnecessary. I
Herb
don't
Street
like it.
becomes noticeably on edge when Corso starts talking, like your grandpa at like a family dinner who might say something just really inappropriate.
Okay.
He's like, he kind of puts like the let's
He gives me anxiety
let's
too.
stay on
I
topic
feel it.
here. Yeah.
Let's play this game.
Corso's 85.
Who would you rather have on the debate stage with Trump, Biden or Lee Corso?
Okay.
I'm just asking.
Not touching it. So
So a question for Micah.
it makes me think of the fact that we let Lou Holtz stick around probably 10 years too long.
Still relevant, apparently.
And he's hanging in there with some real fire takes. So if we can keep Lee Corso in College Game Day, maybe we don't get those Lee Corso
You know
takes.
what? You may be onto something. I like that Lee Corso is still working with Mark May. Like, people were like, "Oh no, I don't need Lee Corso. I need Corso and May." That's what we need.
Together, they're something strong.
I
They're
didn't.
not.
Fierce.
I didn't add this to the run sheet, but I do want to make sure we do talk on, since we're talking bad takes. Between last week and today, I would have to say take of the week went to UMass's football coach, Walt Bell. Anyone see this guy's quote?
What did old Walt say?
Walt Bell, head coach of UMass, not Marcus Camby, UMass basketball, the current present day 136 out of 136 D1 football teams. His quote was, my dad passed away in 2008. My biological mom OD'd in 2012. And to be honest with you, this is probably a tougher day than both of those when speaking about telling his team that they were canceling the season.
Saw that. Yeah.
I mean, this guy just loves college football.
He made some headlines. That's a football guy right there. Yeah, this is pretty unbelievable. And apparently, I don't know the context. I don't know if there's a video of him saying it, but apparently it was a pretty straight-faced response to.
Have you seen
It would
his
be
photo?
funnier if it was a bit.
Yeah.
If it wasn't a straight
But I think
face.
he was just like speaking honestly.
Did he really think it was going to go well for UMass this year?
That's like, what are you doing, man?
I mean, like, maybe, I don't know, you name it, like whoever's a coach at, whatever SEC school. I could see Saban. Saban could say it and be like, yeah, I get it. That had to be tough. You got a lot of guys there going first round. You're going to make a run. UMass, huh?
So this is his second. This would be his second season. Was going to be his second season. Walt Bell, 36 years old. That's the surprise here. If this isn't, 78-year-old Howard Schellenberger like barking something, it'd be weird if his parents were just passing away in those years. If it was though, but 2019 record for old Walt Bell, UMass 1-11. So he was looking for a big turnaround season.
This is a bounce back year
for sure.
I think Matt Rule went 1-11 his first year. So I'm just saying, there's precedent there.
Bringing it back to Baylor.
Bringing it back.
Mama, there goes that man.
Let's talk basketball. You guys want to talk basketball?
Let's talk
I think
basketball,
KJ's
Dave.
sitting there watching that Nuggets game.
I did have it up in my side-by-side, but then I realized I was too distracted by Doris Burke to successfully pod and
Are you
watch the
are you
game.
Team Doris?
I'm very Team Doris, although for those who've seen what Doris is rocking today on Monday the 17th, it looks like she's shopping at the Disney princess shop before she went on camera.
Yes.
We're going to get some heat for this.
What do you got?
What, are you anti-Doris?
No, I'm pro Doris. Woman crush every day. Just
Okay.
shouts to Drake. I feel like there may be many of our female dippers are going to be mad that we're just judging her by what she's wearing.
The Dipettes?
Is that what we're going with?
I don't know.
I like it. That may be sexist too.
Can I say that I'm bummed that she's not doing the Mavs tonight?
She could. She could be going.
She could bounce back.
What are they doing for the? Yeah, how are they rotating that in?
I don't know about the on-air cruise, but I do know ESPN's getting a slot of 4 games, and then TNT will get the slot of the other 4 games, and then those are kind of your series for at least round 1, and then TNT will take over after whatever they call round 2 and 3 and just ride it out through the finals.
Okay.
Maybe we'll get a true TV game here and there.
Oh, I love that. Did I watch the Stars? This is not puck talk, but did I watch the Stars on CNBC?
Yeah. That was,
Okay. That's unstable. No Spurs, Micah. First time in 23 years.
Yeah, it's a long time. 1997.
It was a
without
good
the
run.
Spurs in the playoffs. It was a quite good run.
Who's
Quite good
the what's the reasoning? What happened this year? Like, who's the GOAT?
2020 coronavirus. I would put it on that.
Okay.
They're just not very good. The roster they're a work in progress. But there's some
been
young
good.
guys coming along. DeRozan played well, but if he's your best player, you're probably in trouble. LaMarcus Aldridge is on a steep decline at this point.
Pop is still the GOAT, though.
You do have Lonnie Walker, too, though.
Yeah, the young guys, White, Walker, the White Walkers, backcourt, that's a thing.
That's sick.
There's some talent. There's some dudes that can play. So we'll see.
You
it's tough, though. I see a rebuild period.
I'm not looking to second guess the Spurs front office, but I think they should have simply kept Kawhi Leonard.
That probably would have been a good choice. That probably would have been
he's really
the best thing to
good.
do. Yeah, he was under contract too. That was what was crazy. They just decided to trade him. Jakob Poeltl and DeMar DeRozan are not equal to what Kawhi brings.
Yeah,
quite
you mean
good.
like a perennial top 3 player in the league.
Yeah.
Who's going to be an absolute problem tonight for the
Yeah.
For your
Mavs.
Dallas Mavericks.
Yeah.
It's not pretty. Not pretty.
I'm a pragmatist. I'm gonna have some legitimate views on this, and I'm gonna temper my expectations. I just want to see him go out, win a couple games in this series. I think it's Clippers in 6, maybe Clippers in 5. I'm gonna give Luka a little bit more credit. This entire season they have not looked. It hasn't been close against the Clippers. Like they haven't played a close game, and it would be an interesting time to start doing that. I hope that it's still a game with 5 minutes to go in the fourth. That would be a lot of fun. I'd love to see some Luka and KP crunch time development. We need a third option to step up, but upset's probably not in the cards here.
Yeah, it seems like a bad matchup for Dallas.
It's the worst.
Mm-hmm. Way too long.
You got
defensively.
long wing guys to run it at Luka. I mean, I don't know if you realize this. I'm sure you guys probably do as Dallas folks, but the Mavericks had the greatest offense, the most efficient offense in the history of the NBA this season.
I don't know how to pronounce it. I've seen it written, but I'll defer to Dylan on how you say yeah.
Yeah.
Very efficient.
I believe that's
Yes.
H apostrophe Yeah.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, though, they have two dynamic wing defenders to try and throw at Luka, and that's
two of the best
not
two-way
great.
players in the league on
Yeah.
the same team.
What's surprising to me is, I'm not stats guy, but I did see that. I mean, Luka's shooting like 31-ish% from three, which isn't great if you're going to rely on your 3-point. Everybody knows that Luka can hit the step back three. Not particularly strong in the end of the game, but versus the Clippers, he's shooting like maybe 26% from three. What's crazier is he's shooting a higher percentage of threes versus them, so their whole game is just to keep Luka out of the lane, make him shoot.
Pat Beverly is going to be a terror.
Yeah. We're going to come out of this series hating Pat Beverly if you don't already.
I hated him when he was on the Rockets, and then I started liking him again. He's just one of those guys, and he said some complimentary things because he was almost the Mavericks had interest in him in the offseason, and he was smart, go to the Clippers, but that dude's a pest. I'm obviously looking forward to that. The other series though that's going to be actually there's two of them. Rockets Thunder is sneaky sick because the Thunder are such a weird team that's overachieved, and that you got the Chris Paul angle, former Rocket.
Chris Paul, one of the most petty guys in the entire league, on a full revenge tour.
Yeah.
Against the team that traded him. Russell Westbrook is out for game 1, perhaps for game 2 with an injury.
What's his injury?
I think it's a quad.
Because his entire game relies on athleticism.
Yeah, it's not good.
I thought
for
it was
the
a
Rockets.
pride injury. I just thought he was just like, you know what? Just not feeling good today.
Yeah, that guy just doesn't have enough confidence, so it's probably not going to work. Yeah, I'm excited about that series. Chris Paul doing Chris Paul things, yelling, being able to hear him barking at people. It's going to be fun.
State Farm's just going to be the exclusive sponsor of that game. Just nothing but Chris Paul State Farm commercials.
It took me 3 State Farm commercials to realize that the
Cliff
the
Ball,
dude
the
is-
new one,
the-
or the fake Chris
have a new-
now.
The
New
fake
Jake
one
from-
is what's his name? Carlton. From-
Yes, Alfonso
Fresh-
Ribeiro.
Oh,
Yeah. Which, okay, I like him. He's a nice guy, but his career trajectory is all over the map. He always shows up in the Pebble Beach Pro-Am, celeb tournaments and stuff, and they always are like, they put the camera on him and he's compelled to do the Carlton dance. I'm like, dude, you don't have to do that shit anymore, man.
Checks cash.
Oh.
Checks cash. You mentioned earlier, do you want to pick any of these games? Or do you want to hit the Portland Lakers first?
I got Rockets in 7.
Oh.
Book it.
I'll take Oklahoma City in either 6 or 7.
I would love it.
I just think that, especially if they don't have Russell, it's going to be tough.
Rockets in 5.
Ooh.
I don't even like
yeah.
the Rockets, but I think they're going to smash.
Very anti-Rocket, but that's a good team, even if Westbrook's out for a couple games.
I could see OKC jumping out to an early series lead, then the Rockets come back and make it a series, win it in 7.
I mean, I'm excited about it. It should be fun to watch.
Okay, Lakers Blazers is the other one. That's the one that people
Yeah.
are. I mean, this is an 8 seed versus a 1 seed, but it's a hot ass 8 seed.
It's a very hot 8
The
seed.
only hotter team would be the team that had no chance of making the play-in game, which is the Suns. That's a weird thing. They went 8-0 in the bubble, and
Sitting at home.
sitting at home.
Portland has been amazing to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Lillard is just playing on fire, shooting the ball from one step beyond half court, putting up 50, 60 points a game. He is on a scoring tear that no one other than Wilt has ever been at in must-win games. That being said, they play no defense. C.J. Lillard has a broken back.
CJ
Spinal.
McCollum.
McCollum.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Spinal.
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 Is that his diagnosis? The broken back? I feel like that's tough to play with.
Spinal.
Yeah,
my
but he's
back.
playing with it. And,
That was funny.
I mean, and let's be honest.
Maybe he needs a bacchiotomy.
Anthony Davis may go for 80 of a game against Portland. Portland has no answer there. But if you're looking for a long series here, you would like to have some wing defenders to throw at CJ and Dame, and guys like Avery Bradley or Rajon Rondo would be pretty good, and neither of those are available for the Lakers. So, you've got to think that Dame's going to get you 1 or 2 of these.
I think
And
this
so
thing's going 7.
I'm thinking it's going 6.
It's going to be close, and I definitely think you get a LeBron closeout game here, and then they're going to limp into the next round, and then again, LeBron will wake up. But I hope the Blazers, I mean, it might be hating to say it, but I hope the Blazers upset them. That'd be great to see.
Lakers have not looked good in the bubble. It's been weird.
Yeah.
I don't know. We're going to find out if the momentum thing is real or not, because they've looked like shit. Now, I think most people are picking the Clippers to win it all. I think that's where the money's at.
I think they're the better team right now.
I've thought
I think
so.
that's kind of the universal thought.
Even though it seems like Paul George has been on the wrong end of multiple game-winning shots during his career, and we could be set up.
Well,
for
he did hit that game-winning shot in the Gatorade commercial.
That's very true.
And then
that's true.
That aired 1,000 times in the first round series that he just kept missing game-winning shots in real life.
Yeah, that's awkward.
It's tough for him.
Any interest in the Jazz Nuggets?
Yeah.
Are we at halftime on that game, by the way?
Oh,
Yeah. Let's get some real-time score analysis.
I haven't been watching of late, but yeah. Thoughts on the series as a whole?
Nuggets in 6. It should be fun, though. Donovan Mitchell's fun. Jokic.
Third quarter at the moment, Nuggets 68, Jazz 61. Michael Porter Jr. has cemented himself as a legitimate starter. He's starting at the 3 for Denver, which gives them more of a ceiling, I think.
More legitimate than his COVID takes.
Yes.
Mizzou guy.
Yeah, nominally.
He played 6 games.
He played
2 games.
3, I think. Yeah.
He's the Emmanuel Mudiay of Mizzou, except for Emmanuel Mudiay played 0 at SMU, and we still claim him.
Also spinal. Didn't he have a back issue?
Spinal.
Wasn't that his whole deal?
You have to get that clip.
His spinal.
But
yeah, I think Denver's a better team. Utah just kind of seems a little off. There was a lot of talk that Gobert and what's his name?
Spider.
Don't like each other, and so they seem a little off.
Well, Gobert literally gave everyone in this country COVID-19, so
He's the COVID guy.
he is patient 0.
If Gobert had one hot political take, like an Enes Kanter level take, obviously it wouldn't have been about his home country, France, but let him have said something against Trump, and we would see Gobert pictures all across social media.
Yeah.
From people just blame this guy, blame the French guy who brought it to our country.
Oh, yeah.
We missed out on some content.
Always blame the French guy.
I like Jokic. Watching him play is incredible to see. It's kind of strange. It looks like you're watching a water polo guy dominate just because he plays above people. He's playing with the ball high, kind of like Dirk does, but he always looks out of position.
Okay.
He's built like a giant 8-year-old. It's so funny to watch.
And he moves the ball very well. His touch passes are great. He sees the court extremely well, I would say.
I
Great
love
vision.
the water polo analogy. That's outstanding.
Yeah,
He's
I had
just
a
up here
visual
just
in my
throwing
head.
passes.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
So I'm excited to see how that plays out. I thought that they played several times in the playoffs of recent, but apparently not since 2010. So it's a random series I'm interested
The
in.
Nuggets?
Mm-hmm. Nuggets Jazz haven't met.
Nuggets Jazz. Okay.
Any Eastern games that you guys are particularly interested in?
Celtics Sixers. That's usually a juicy rivalry as of late. That'll be fun. Raptors Nets. Raptors are, I think, sneaky good. Might upset the Bucks, but unlikely. Yeah, not really.
I like Heat Pacers. I just like watching Jimmy Butler. He's a psycho, and I enjoy that. So I would give them a little bit of an edge over the Pacers, who played pretty well in the bubble too.
Yeah,
but.
and Oladipo being back for them, and I guess the way that T.J. Warren, who I had no idea he was capable of basically being top 5 and scoring in the bubble, has gone off. I'm not too familiar with the feud that he and Jimmy Butler have had. According to Jimmy Butler, it's not a feud. He's focused on winning, but we'll see.
It's the right answer.
It's hard pressed for me to see anyone other than the Raptors giving Giannis any problems. The best bet is that that the Magic show up and send Mo Bamba out to Nancy Kerrigan. Giannis, that's what you're gonna get.
Do you think T-Man would appreciate that?
Dude, no one loves Mo Bamba more than T-Man. He was texting me this weekend dude, I'm just sitting at home with Mo Bamba on repeat.
Just jamming a Mo Bamba.
What
on
you
the
doing?
front porch.
Smashing that button.
Y'all want to do some I guess we're not doing quick hits anymore. We're doing quick dips.
Yeah, I rebranded that
notice.
today. Yeah.
I thought it was a typo, then I realized, it's a play on the name of the pod. Too much dip pod.
Quick dips.
Let's do some quick dips. 42-year-old Jim Herman won the Wyndham Championship.
Is this his first victory on tour?
Third, actually.
Oh.
His first came at age 38, though.
Oh.
Late bloomer.
Aging like wine.
I still got time. That's what you're telling me.
KJ, you got any fun facts on Jim Herman?
Nope, don't have anything.
None? Like,
None of where he's employed or anything. So Jim Herman, I guess, is an associate pro at Trump National Jersey. I don't know the name of the course. Somebody's going to have to fill me in there. And so he did get some Twitter chirpbacks from people rooting against him. I would say if you pull up Google Images and search Jim Herman, aside from the fact that the man has an absolutely adorable family, he certainly looks like he might show up if you were to have somebody come fix your HVAC.
Yes. an incredibly average-looking guy.
You're being too kind.
I was watching him on television. I was like, there's something weird about the way that dude looks. And I couldn't put my finger on it. I think you got it.
As a man who has a
probably
slight
knows
gap,
speeding in air.
he definitely is trending towards like the Strahan side of the spectrum. You mix that with like King of the Hill, C-list character.
He looks like someone who shows up to a muni and just hustles everyone there and takes everyone's money.
I believe it.
You know what I mean?
I believe it.
Golf Twitter said he's a really good dude.
Like this guy, I don't know if the guy smokes, but this guy smokes cigarettes.
For sure.
His name's Jim Herman. Okay, first of all, if your name is Jim, you're smoking cigs. Let's just get that out there.
All gyms are cigarette
All gyms
smokers. Everybody
smoke.
knows that.
Jim opens he opens the door to greet people in his boxers and a t-shirt for sure.
Yeah.
Did you guys catch any U.S. Amateur?
No,
I know
but-
Micah was checking
I
out
know
some
you
amateurs
did, Dave.
yesterday, but yeah, I did. Bandon Dunes. Does that make you horny? Anybody?
It does. I mostly know it because our buddy Chad, #Chad, won't shut up about how awesome it is and says we need to get out there. And
Always
I agree.
flexing.
I agree. We need to get out there. It looks incredible.
It's an Oregon.
Yes.
Yeah.
On the coast. Quite the marine layer, which presented problems in the championship match. You had SMU's Ollie Osborne. KJ,
Yeah.
you've been gassing him up for a while.
I've been
Big
telling
Ollie
you,
guy.
watch out for 00.
Agent 00 is what
Agent
they call him.
00. I will say the little that I did catch of it, they threw his profile picture up, which on the fly I'll pull
Why'd
up
they
for
do
you.
him like that?
And they didn't do Ollie well. That's the
Oh,
profile
come on.
photo that they had up for our boy Ollie Osborne. And they basically just took his student ID
Yeah.
and
that's what that is.
just jotted, just like, hey,
His flow looks great, though.
He's wearing a red T-shirt.
good looking dude, though.
Also, he wore a. Did you see what he wore yesterday in the championship match? He wore a Bandon Dunes golf resort golf polo.
Took a shirt
from
out
the
of
club
the,
shop.
out of the pro shop and wore
I
it
love
on
that,
the
man.
That's a
course.
flex.
To
I
the
love it.
finals.
That's cool. I'm sorry, but that's cool. Like you're there. I'm gonna get some merch while I'm here, and you know what? Might as well wear this shirt.
Also, he is just a certified piss missile guy.
Yeah.
He's long off the tee. He
Love
lost
that.
though.
Well, we'll get him next time.
He lost to Tyler Strafacci, Georgia Tech son.
Strafacci.
Yeah. It was fun. The
They
Marine,
said
like,
that Strafassi's grandfather had won the U.S. Amateur 82 years ago.
that's cool. His dad was on the bag.
Oh,
That's
lovely.
Wooden clubs.
Wouldn't he was going with the old Persimmons. Dude, no, like there were a few holes there on the back that like you couldn't see. Like they had to wait and they were hitting completely blind. They didn't know where bunkers were. And I thought it was weird that they even like played, but it blew out pretty quick. But that marine layer is no joke. A lot of people don't realize there's a marine layer that far north, Dylan.
Yeah, it's a little known fact.
It did look like a scene out of Twilight, if I can shout out that trash franchise.
Says SMU's Ollie Osborne here, not a fit god. Micah, why'd you put that in there?
I threw that in there,
Oh,
just
okay.
referencing his T-shirt. They did him wrong by throwing his profile picture up there like that.
KJ's tweet of the week from Elliott Shore Park says,
He goes, I don't know if you saw this getting kicked around. This guy's a random beat writer for the Eagles. His tweet I'll read to you is, I could maybe score a touchdown. I could luck into a home run. I could probably get 2 points in an NBA game. I could play hundreds of games of hockey and never, ever, ever score a goal. It looks impossible.
I just want to stuff this kid in a locker.
He puts off major 5-4 vibes.
did you ever luck into a home run?
Like, no. Like, why stop there? Why not say we kind of talked about this morning a little bit, but like I could land a right cross against Mayweather. I could hold out at Sunday at Augusta from 120. Like just shut up. You don't luck into a home run. First of all, to hit a ball, 340 plus or whatever. it's pretty tough to do just taking BP. But you face Major League pitching, just shut up.
No. He got flamed online, and rightfully so, and then updated his profile because I looked at it yesterday, and it now says a bad take is better than no take at all. It's now in his Twitter profile.
So he's in on the bet.
Oh, man.
Shouts to him.
He's also a reporter for a radio station, so, we'll just kind of leave it at that.
What's that mean?
Well, I'm not saying the guy writes. He doesn't write for an actual newspaper. He's just a radio guy.
He doesn't even, at least even write for like a weekly newsletter.
The Gazette.
That's right. He writes for 94WIP.com.
I'll tell you what. If he does launch a newsletter, I'm not subscribing to that.
Yeah, that's bad.
I'd like to write for 94WAP.com.
I bet you would. I do like some of the replies here. A lot of the haters in the replies have never lucked into a major league home run, and it shows.
Can I say that he could, if you are, let's say like you don't have the skill to play hockey, right? Because you're 5'4", whatever this guy is, whatever. Scoring a goal in hockey, like you get it at the point, just kind of throw it on net. A lot of guys do the work for you. They tip it in. I feel like a lot of accidental goals happen.
There's also the open net possibility in hockey where the other team pulls their goalie, where you could conceivably do this
and only get sent out on ice once it's an open net situation.
That's right. Whereas you're never hitting a home run off big league pitching.
Look, without the home run part, this tweet I can maybe get behind it a little bit.
I just like the
I could
phrase,
get a bucket in an NBA
I
game.
could probably score a touchdown. Like, if you're going to say all of the other things with confidence, like could probably like.
If we're running ISO and I'm and the boys up front do a good job and make a lane for me, I can get a yard.
We can get a swinging gate off.
I can get a yard
once every now and again.
Okay.
I'm getting buckets
Let me say this.
in the bubble.
Can I
You're
break
getting
some?
swatted.
Yeah.
Can I break news?
Giannis is putting that 20 rows deep.
Guys, I'm breaking news. Let's do it. Okay.
Turn it up.
The Week 1 2020 SEC schedule has been released. Would you like me to go down your schedule?
Goodness.
This is really good for Missouri. They start out against Bama.
We're not getting Texas
Hey,
LSU
let's
this year,
go.
which is unfortunate.
Oh, I didn't even think about that getting
Yeah.
mixed.
That's a bummer. So you got Bama, Mizzou, Georgia at Arkansas, Kentucky at Auburn, Florida, Ole Miss, Mississippi State, LSU, Tennessee, South Carolina, Vanderbilt, A&M. And none of those are sexy games.
But at least we don't get like the trash ass, Alabama versus some
Baylor versus
directional
Liberty.
School that's just going to be, 54-0 at halftime.
That's fair.
Week 11 in the SEC.
To be fair, Missouri, Bama might be 54-0 at halftime, but yeah, the schedule makers didn't do Mizzou any favors. The two games they picked up were Bama and LSU, so they have 4 games against teams in the top 8 right now.
Okay,
but I'm not complaining. If there's football, there's football. I'm happy about it.
Here's what drives me insane is that what you just got and what we all just received was they released the Week 1 schedule. It goes on to say a full unveiling of the 10-game conference-only schedule will take place at 7 p.m. on SEC Network. Like, don't CTs me here. Like, it's spelled SEA.
There's nothing worse than this. The NFL does this. The NFL does this where they put out like a TV show to announce their schedule, and people get super excited about it. Like, just drop me the schedule. I don't need this.
This is definitely like this is the live and in-person listicle. Like, just clicking through this shit.
I still will be pleasantly surprised if we see some college football.
Maybe that's their approach. At 7 p.m., they'll be like, we'll see. Here's Week 1. We know we will roll out there for that. Everything else, we'll see.
Do we know when Big 12 is supposed to release the schedule?
They have.
They have?
Yeah.
What's Week 1?
I forgot, but it doesn't start till early mid-September.
26th or they've got some variation to where it's like 26th or October 10th is like the 2 weeks of start dates. I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know if they've dropped the augmented schedule. Like,
Yeah, they put one. I'm pretty sure they put one out though.
Yeah, they announced opponents and dates last week sometime.
Yeah.
Back to Micah's quick dips. Monday Night Football, the new crew has been officially announced. Steve Levy, Lewis Riddick, and Brian Greasy. That's your crew.
Okay.
All right.
It's about the same reaction we all had before. It's like,
Sure.
Doesn't do much. Doesn't move my needle, but whatever.
There's ain't no booger.
No booger mobile. We're assuming that's not going to be a thing anymore. That was
I enjoy
widely
Booger.
panned. I enjoy Booger. The Booger mobile. They put him in the worst possible position to fail. Like, he couldn't develop chemistry because he was out in a fucking vehicle on the sidelines blocking people's view and just awkwardly, going back and
Just
forth.
awkwardly obstructing views.
That would be like me doing the podcast like from my house, like, and y'all just zoom me in. Like, it's not going to hit the same.
Yeah, it'd be like you just eating Chipotle in your car and calling us via Bluetooth.
That's not a bad idea.
I don't know.
man.
What was worst about that Booger Mobile is that they would put like a 32-inch like Hitachi TV on the back for the people
Yeah.
who were having their
That's
views obstructed.
insulting.
I'm like,
Yeah.
come on.
That's
Like I didn't pay $4,000 for this seat to watch TV.
Those are expensive. Those are season ticket holders.
I'm a long time fan of Booger McFarland. I mean, he was on the Bucks in the years that they won a Super Bowl. I can't ride for like his on-air product as like an announcer. I agree he was put in a bad position, but he is a content king when it comes to just the most ridiculous stuff he was ever doing. I'll have to go back through my feed and repost some of the pictures, but they did the ESPN thing where like Booger and Tessitore were announcing for the college football championship. He shows up with like a tray of lunch meat and sandwich bread, and was making a sandwich. They didn't have him bring a sandwich to him or a burger because they brought that afterwards. And he had like a whole spread full of shit in the middle of the game.
He's
So
a content king.
no
Above
Booger.
respect.
Unbelievable numbers on Peloton.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
He's the
Oh
king.
my
He's
God.
the Pelly King.
Yeah,
Is he the guy?
He's
Is he
the
who
guy.
we're all chasing?
he's pretty close.
He didn't win that ESPN competition, but it was some like Olympian, ridiculous in shape
Jeez.
guy.
Stupid numbers.
Probably on
I think it was a
EPO.
swimmer who won.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think it probably on EPO.
Yeah. No proof of that, but Steve Levy, okay.
Sure. Blah. I like
He's
Joe
a- he's a
Tess.
guy.
I think Joe Tess normally probably guilty of doing a little too much.
Yeah.
Better on boxing.
Yes. I
Actually,
agree.
fantastic at boxing.
It's a better fit for him. I don't know what he's going to do now. Steve Levy is just a whole lot of nothing, which is fine. It goes back to this belief that goes beyond our time that Monday Night Football is like this special television experience that's different than the rest of the football games. It's just another game, and if the game's good, I'll watch it. If the game isn't good, I won't pay attention to it. I don't need special graphics. I don't need the animations. I don't need
You're gonna get 'em.
I don't need Dennis Miller.
No,
Just give me a football game.
Come on.
That was
Dennis
terrible.
Miller.
That
Rush Limbaugh.
That experiment was a massive.
People
failure.
forget about Rush Limbaugh.
He wasn't on Monday night. They had him on the pregame show.
Yeah, he was still part of the package, though.
Well, it was a fine segue from him and Hank Williams, so it all worked out.
That's true.
All his rowdy friends came over tonight.
And they always show up.
It was weird.
I don't know.
He must have some good friends.
We'll be
They're
there.
always coming over tonight.
They're rowdy,
My
we
friends
know
don't
that.
show up for like half the parties.
You
I
don't,
throw.
yeah, I don't even have any friends. The fuck? Nobody calls me anymore. Good transition into puck talk, because speaking of Tessitore being good at boxing, can I go ahead and just gas up Kenny Albert? Because I think Kenny Albert's awful on football. Actually, really good NHL play-by-play. I don't know if it's his fault that like when he calls a game in the NFL, maybe it's because it's no, he's not the A team. It's normally like a Cowboy game that is
And
not
he's
moving
working
the
with
needle.
Tiki or something.
Yeah,
Rondé,
He used to be with
one of the
Moose.
barbers.
It used to be him and Moose, and they had no
Respect the
chemistry.
barbers.
I don't know. I think he's actually pretty good. He did the Stars game the other night.
It's
on
got to
the
be so
national
hard to call
broadcast.
hockey.
I don't understand how they do it.
It's
The names,
chaotic.
quick flow, calling like they always end up having like us. It's kind of like golf where you've got 2 or 3 other people involved just to call some of the niche rules and stuff like that. Just keeping up with like offsides and stuff from a very casual hockey fan's perspective. That's difficult for me at watching at home. For a professional who's like just there to do the play-by-play, but then to catch stuff like that, like the dude, he killed it and keeps it exciting too for how fast it was going.
He's no Doc Emmerich, but no one is. Doc's the best at his craft.
Big ups to my Golden Knights who are about to take down the Blackhawks. Game 5 coming up.
The Who's?
The Golden Knights.
No, they were taking down the Who's.
The Blackhawks?
Oh, Hawks. My bad.
Oh, I
My
see what
bad.
you're doing.
Just keeping up.
Dude, you confused
Unbelievable.
me. Did I get the mascot wrong? Like,
Unbelievable.
the Black Hawks.
Um,
We'll be losing.
What's that series at? 3-1?
3-1.
Yeah.
Okay. Stars are back, dude. We're playing hockey in Dallas, folks. It's actually in Edmonton, but you know what I'm saying. That was we had overtime. That was sick. That's all I got.
Tied the series at 2.
Tied the series at 2, man. Like, dude, there's nothing. Dallas gets up for playoff hockey.
Yeah.
The city that I mean.
I will say this. My Twitter was alive with Stars fans in a way that it has not been alive all season. And then all of a sudden, this thing going back and forth. People are tweeting about how they got 9 lives. It's very exciting.
I follow.
I enjoy seeing this.
I follow too many Dallas people on Twitter, I think, because I know everything about all Dallas sports. And I care about a couple of them, boys mostly. But, I'm not a Stars guy.
That's fine.
Yeah.
And hey, just think, man, if Tyler Seguin shows up, maybe this thing's going to make a run.
We did miss the Blue Jackets 5 overtime game last week. That's old news by now, but it's still worth mentioning. I can't remember. I don't have the number of saves their goalie had, and
that was like 85.
Like 85 or 87 saves,
And a
only
loss.
to lose in like the 5th overtime. Like, that's just terrible.
That's tough.
That's puck talk for you.
That's all I got for puck talk.
I see Bruins goalie Rask.
Oh,
opt out.
yeah. I mean, that's of note for our Boston listeners out there. Rask, I don't know. It's like Tuukka. I can't pronounce his first name. Tuuka.
You got it.
Rask.
No, really. I think it's Tuukka.
I was like, I don't know.
I've never
But
heard
basically,
this
their
name
starting
before,
goalie was doing very well all season, has a newborn at home, COVID happens, has 2 younger kids at home, comes into their bubble situation, basically, thinking about all of that. And then on top of that, has completely S the bed and played very poorly, not like he was prior to this return to hockey, and gets benched essentially. I don't have the stats in front of me, but then he's like, you know what? Hey, guys, I'm opting out. Peace out.
Oh, dude, I
And,
love this movie.
This was 2 hours before the game where he was like, you know what? Not going to be there. And I think they had decided the other guy was going to get the start, but still, this is definite Vernon Davis's brother vibes. We've had this convo
just
recently.
a halftime retirement.
Yeah.
Savage.
Well, good for him. Good for you know what, man? That didn't. We just had somebody on the Jazz with Mike Conley. Didn't he?
Yes, Mike
leave the
Conley
bubble?
is out due to the birth of a child.
Yeah, but he'll be back.
Right.
Can he come back? How's that work?
Yeah, if he
You have
gets
to quarantine.
tested every day, then he has
Right.
a 4-day quarantine period.
Okay.
Yeah, he'll be back.
If he stops for chicken wings somewhere,
Might have a 10
It goes
day.
to 10 days.
Ooh. Let's get horny.
When my team wins a big game, it's good. But when my team doesn't win the big game, you better look out, Buster. I'm a loose cannon. This is not good at all.
Thank you, Jake. What are you guys looking forward to this week?
I'm just excited that we have NHL and NBA playoff.
Dylan's a big
Playoffs.
picture H guy.
I don't watch regular season NHL or NBA, but I really enjoy playoffs.
You get up for the playoffs.
I really do. It's fun. It's exciting.
I'm gonna have you over for a Stars game.
Okay.
Order some pizza. Me and you.
The Golden Knights inaugural season, they made the Stanley Cup Finals, and I watched a lot of playoff hockey. It was
you were
fun.
ground floor Knights guy.
It was fun.
It was
and
fun.
it gave me just enough.
Didn't
action.
you? Did you win or lose a bet on a previous podcast surrounding the Golden Knights? I'm thinking about a noted Twitter personality who might have slapped you on camera.
Oh, Mia Khalifa.
Yeah. And
It's very kind.
That wasn't. I don't think that was a hockey bet. I
it
could be
was not.
wrong.
Okay. I just assumed it was because I know she's a big.
I think it was
hockey
just a
gal.
football bet, and we just asked her to.
Former host of
To
Sports
deliver.
Ball, the podcast.
Yeah.
Sports Ball is a good pod name.
She recently unfollowed me on Twitter and Instagram, so I don't think we're
Wow.
close. We're not close anymore.
Sorry to
wow.
hear that.
It's okay.
You always have that moment where she slapped the living piss out of you.
Yeah, that she got me. It stung.
Micah, what are you looking forward to?
Hoops.
Oh,
Just give me the hoops.
just meta.
4 games a day, every day throughout the first round. It's like the NCAA tournament, but actually high-quality basketball. I'm in,
Come on.
and I can't wait.
Okay.
And I would give this 4.5 eggplants out of 5.
Oh, I forgot to
Yeah.
Who are
eggplant
you
my
riding
shit.
with? We didn't even get to that.
I
You're the
think
Spurs guy, so you don't have a squad.
I think I like the Clippers to win the whole thing, and as I was telling you guys earlier, I don't know why. It goes against what I stand
he's
for.
rooting for
But
Kawhi. He did say that.
I root for Kawhi. I like him, even though he forced his way out. He's ruined our franchise for years to come. And Uncle Dennis,
It's that
the
laugh,
whole
man.
thing.
It's intoxicating.
I just love the way he plays. He plays the right way. I like the way he carries himself. I like that he wears New Balances. I'm in, and I think they're the best team. I think I'll be rooting for Milwaukee. I would like. I guess I'm going front runner here. I'd like to root for LeBron, but I can't root for him on the Lakers. If he played for another team, I would support LeBron. I enjoy his greatness, but I think the Clippers are going to do it.
What about Luka?
And I love watching Luka.
Okay, I just wanted to hear you say it.
I'm aged for him.
Give me 5 full firm unsteamed eggplants for Luka, Porzingis, THJ. Just
Take it
speeding
on the clip
to
show,
a
huh?
potential sweep.
As long as they
Wow.
look good in the sweep, I'm fine with it.
It's not going to be pretty as far as like them winning games, but every game will be very competitive.
Okay.
It just doesn't add up. I don't see it happening. What's worse is I'm pretty sure, don't they have one of the Harris brothers on the Clippers? It's not Harris brothers. What am I thinking? The twins.
Morris.
Morris. I'm sorry. Yeah, I was
Oh,
thinking
yeah.
Montreal at the same time. Harrell.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I can't stand any team that has either Morris
I hate
brother.
those guys.
Don't those twins have identical tattoos?
Yes.
Like all over their body.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
They're very Sedin-esque.
Oh,
There you go. More puck talk.
that's pucked
They
up.
are trash.
Well, let me go ahead and say it.
because they
I,
went to Kansas.
I too.
And one of them spurned the Spurs this year. But we don't need to get into that. Sorry, Dave.
I was just gonna say I'm super H for Luka.
Turn it up.
To
We
the
know
tune
you
to
are.
the tune of 5 birthday cake emojis.
Okay.
How about that?
5 cakes.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
Yeah, that's a surprise to no one. I'm just happy. I'm happy. We're right in it. You know, we worried before we launched this pod. I was like, dude, is there going to be too much going on at the same time? Are we going to be able to do all this? And we're doing okay, I think. We're able to handle it. I could deal without the 9:30 puck drop Stars games.
Jeez.
I'm really not a big fan of going to bed at 12:30 post playoff hockey because you know you're all geeked out.
You're
on
wired,
adrenaline.
huh?
The adrenaline, just watching postseason hockey, I believe to be the highest of all of the sports, especially because there's so many overtime games, and it's there's a lot. That's tough.
Here's an old favorite, Micah, Combat Sports Minute.
Yeah, we'll go quick.
Okay.
We'll go quick.
We had Stipe Miocic defeating Daniel Cormier in the trilogy fight at UFC 252. I watched it. I had Will DeFreeze over and his wife Sally, and they left before like the main fight started. So watched it solo.
This was also basically a one-fight card, so that's always good.
You had Sugar Sean.
Well, we'll talk about him.
We'll talk about him, but yeah, Stipe. Look, I said earlier, like a few weeks ago, I wasn't excited for this. As it led up to it, I was like, you know what? This is a big fight. It's a legacy fight for both of these guys. The narrative for Stipe already, I think most people say is the greatest heavyweight ever, just because how many times he's defended it. Cormier is a light heavyweight, but when he moves up, if he can move up and win the title twice, that's a big deal. Unfortunately, he didn't look good. He kind of got manhandled on the cage, and he got the living piss poked out of his eyeball.
Mm-hmm.
As did Stipe earlier in the fight by DC. DC pokes everybody in the eye. I don't think it's intentional, but Stipe poking DC was way worse. It like ruptured his cornea apparently, and he couldn't see.
Couldn't see out of his eye. He has to have surgery. Yeah. Stipe takes 2 of the 3 fights against Cormier, cements his legacy as the greatest heavyweight champion in UFC history.
First team all bad tattoos, by the way.
Yeah, not great.
He has spinal tats.
Him, AJ McCarron.
Spinal.
Yes.
It's spinal.
We'll have that one next week.
But yeah, Stipe did it. I can't say I was surprised. I picked him to win. Cormier has an unbelievable legacy and an unbelievable resume, but he's always going to be known in the second paragraph of Stipe's or of Cormier's, career, of his, his death. People are going to mention John Jones and Stipe.
Are you calling? What are you saying here?
No, I'm just in his obituary is
Oh,
where
okay.
I'm looking for, not of his death. That sounded weird.
Yeesh.
But yeah, tremendous. This wasn't a close fight. I mean, Stipe, in addition to clawing out Cormier's eyeball, really did dominate the fight.
We had hot Stipe too. He was a little bit more shredded. He's not like a body guy, but he came in. He looked defined. His hair, it looked like he did the Somethin thing. It was weird. He had bangs. It was like down in his face. I was like, I don't know what he's trying to do.
It was
here.
weird. Cormier did essentially retire after the fight, and then Stipe came out and was like, "I'm not retiring. I like this." So, because there was some talk that he's a little bit older, but so we'll get some more fights from Stipe, and I'd watch Stipe John Jones.
I would too. I kind of hope Stipe retires. It doesn't sound like he's gonna, but he has nothing left to prove.
Speaking of people that have something left to prove, Sean O'Malley, Sugar Shane O'Malley, Sean O'Malley. I should
What's
say.
up with that guy's hair?
He's a hair bits guy.
That's a pain in the ass.
He came into the fight 12-0 and got knocked the fuck out.
He didn't get knocked out.
No, he left on a stretcher.
Okay. Well, here's what happened. So
Okay.
he hurt his foot. He re-aggravated a foot injury, and they called it on the fight like, "Uh-oh, he hurt his foot," and he was still fighting, and he ended up on his back, and they stopped it. He did not get clipped or anything, and it might have been an early stoppage, but like with the foot injury, he wasn't going to win that fight. So yeah, he didn't get KO'd, but like. It was bad. It's enough
Not a
to
good
like
showing.
No, and he's like a guy that they've really hyped up. Like you said, he was 12-0. He's got a lot of personality. He's a big Rogan guy. I think he told Rogan he loves him in an interview one time.
Yeah, he does that every time.
Yeah, he's a big,
One time he said, "Joe Rogan, I fucking love you," and then the next time he was on Fox, he goes, "Joe Rogan, I frickin' love you."
That's
So
good.
he's got some personality.
So what? Not to belabor this, but like, was it some like weak ass injury like plantar fasciitis, or what's up with this?
Wow, that is topical and offensive to some on this podcast. Not me and not KJ,
I'm
but
currently suffering from it, KJ.
Not
Thank
a
you.
foreshadow.
no, I don't know if it was like. I don't know exactly if it's been diagnosed, but like it's enough to where it might be like a nerve thing, which you never want.
There's no way we could even know.
No, we can't.
Hey, real quick, LA Fitness is currently trending on Twitter, and that's because I don't know who to attribute the quote to, but there's a minute clip of the Nuggets Jazz game. It's just super sloppy basketball, like botched alley-oops and missed layups and just sloppy passes, and they're running up and down the court. And the quote is, "It looks like LA Fitness at 3 o'clock right now," which is really, really funny if you've ever been to a gym that has a basketball court, because it's ugly basketball.
Oh man,
That's good.
Yeah.
That's really good. Only other thing on UFC 252, ESPN just they refuse to pivot away from throwing up tweets on the screen in the middle of
don't care
fights.
for this.
Mid-fight, the trilogy fight, two of the greatest combat sports guys ever, Cormier and Stipe, and they're throwing up what Logan Paul's having to say about it. Like, oh, this is a great
Oh,
fight. Like, yeah, we
God.
know.
They
We're
really
watching
put Logan Paul up there.
At one point, Logan Paul made it up there.
I mean, could you imagine if Ali Frazier 3 is on and all of a sudden you get a tweet from Logan Paul?
Yeah.
The logic makes no sense. Like, it's essentially them showing like, look, these celebrities who you might
watching.
think are cool, they're watching it and they're telling you how great of a fight it is. It's like, yeah, we're watching the fight.
And,
we can
and
see
I've
it.
paid for this fight. It's on pay-per-view. This isn't like
it takes
it's one
up-
thing if it was like the prelims and they're like, "Oh, I can't wait for
Sure.
I can't wait for this fight tonight." And you throw up tweets about how great the fight is going to be to convince people to pay for it. You've already paid for the fight. I don't care about Logan Paul.
Pretty bad.
Yeah.
Pretty bad. I've kind of gone to that well on Twitter before bitching about it, and it's to the point where I'm like, whatever.
I tried really hard the last UFC fight to tweet from my verified account to try and get up on the broadcast. It did not work though.
Well, it works for a lot of guys, and you get a lot of UFC fighters like volume shooting because like it's all about name recognition. In UFC, you gotta carve out your own niche.
Well, I mean, I am the battle-toed bad boy.
That's true. I see a lot of dude. I've seen worse people. Let's just say, get posted up there.
Yeah, it's a greater than zero chance.
Thus concludes the Combat Sports Minute. Micah, you ready to run it back?
Let's do it.
There we go.
Oh yeah.
Run it back, Mike.
Time to run it back. As we speak, Micah's legs are going viral this morning thanks to some social media posts from Dylan. Micah and KJ are both wearing fresh shirts straight out the box. Shouts to J. Crew Outlet and Costco, respectively. Email Dave at washmedia.com to become an intern for this program. Dave saw people huffing Freon at multiple parties in high school. KJ smoked some beef ribs this weekend, bitch. Also, follow Meat Smokers Only on IG.
Thank you.
Wash Media's website has a two-step authentication process.
That's true, and Apple Pay is available.
KJ compared Alex Smith's leg to a chewed-up Slim Jim, which Dave mentioned that Dorn swallows whole.
That was a misquote.
I'm sorry.
That's not what I said.
Not
Dylan
accurate.
and Micah are hard on the under of 3.5 career touchdowns for Des Bryant.
Don't call him Dead Bryant. That's
Just his career.
come on.
Liam Neeson has bought the CFL.
That's
That's
crazy.
Liam Neeson is how you have it written there.
Yeah,
but go
that's
on.
weird.
Hey,
That's my SoundCloud rapper name.
big shouts to the sound effect guy from Police Academy. His name is Michael Winslow.
That's why you're.
I don't believe it.
Dorn loved the full-speed college chick dog pile videos.
They're fun. Yeah. They're fun.
Dave got roasted recently for being a T-shirt Baylor fan.
I may have exaggerated. It came up though.
Hey, imagine a campus with no Quan.
Can't. Don't want to.
Not me.
Coach Walt Bell had the take of the week. Quote, my dad passed away in 2008. My mom OD'd in 2012. But this day is harder than those. Speaking of the cancellation of the UMass football season. The Spurs probably should have just kept Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Spinal.
It's spinal.
I don't even know why I wrote that down.
It's spinal.
Dave suggests that we should always blame the French guy. No one loves Mo Bamba more than T-Man.
He loves it.
Jim Herman looks like someone who might fix your HVAC, and he definitely smokes cigs. Big ups to Dylan's Golden Knights. The Hawks are in trouble, and the Stars are back, folks. Dylan was a ground floor Golden Knights boy. Everybody
damn
already
right.
knew that. 5 full, firm, unsteamed eggplants for Luca, for KJ in the H-Fest.
Or Luke, as it says here on the rundown.
Look, man, I was going
Luke
quick.
Doncic.
I'll take a Luke P for
Luke's
5
his brother.
eggplants.
Dave is also Super H for Luca to the tune of 5 cakes.
That's very true.
And Dylan is currently suffering from plantar fasciitis. Perhaps this is the same problem as Sugar Sean O'Malley. And that was Run It Back.
Oh, that's fun. That's a fun one.
People love
Micah.
it.
People love it.
It's good.
Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Leave us a review. Anybody want to give any parting shouts?
Um,
You look like you got something.
no,
Okay.
no.
Not even on bid day.
Okay.
Oh, come on, man.
Hey, can I shout out Roel Ramirez, rookie pitcher for the St. Louis Cardinals? He became the first pitcher to give up 4 straight home runs in his major league debut
Oh, that's
this
tough.
weekend.
I feel like that.
That's a
he's-
bad weekend for that guy.
Yeah, he didn't need to have it made worse by you.
Yesterday, a catcher for the Dodgers in his major league debut hit a home run in his first at bat,
It's
which
special. It's fun.
is pretty cool.
Glass half full, Dylan.
Glad his parents were
See?
there to see it.
Full circle, Dave.
Man, just getting shelled. That's like what the OCBF did to me in my first start in YMCA ball. They just absolutely teed off.
There's
on me.
not a lonelier feeling than getting shelled while you're on the
There's
mound.
nothing I could do.
You're just out there, and it's your fault.
We had a-
and no one else's.
we had no help. No one stopping at the corners. Like it was just everything was getting
Just
through.
The third base coach is going to throw his arm
Yeah.
out of socket. Just bringing them all home.
Just run ruled my first start. Okay, I had fun.
Good times.
See you guys next week.
Yep. Goodbye.
I want my chips with the dip, that's all I know. I don't want my chips plain, I want my chips with the dip. So bring them dips.